Health Institute with my good friend and co-founder of the Go Beyond Summit, Justin Frandson, here to talk about recovery, recovering, athletics, sports, athletes. Tell us about it.
Oh man, I mean, this is a loaded topic. I mean, we're capping out our Breakthrough 5 Summit series with probably one of the bigger topics here. I mean, recovery, there's so many areas that we can go in. The first thing that comes to mind is just stretch. I mean, a quick story. I was just doing some tree trimming this weekend. Wife was gone. I actually had to chop the olive tree and just trim it out, and it was just getting too full and she wouldn't let me touch it. So I just went to town on this and all the other ones. And just from just trimming trees, I was on a mission, and I hadn't been stretching after. And then I went surfing the next day, and then a rib went out. And so, like, if you're not taking care of yourself and doing that stuff and preparing, your body for this stuff, you're just gonna, and you're not stretching for recovering, you're gonna pay the price. So for me, stretching is one of the big buttons.
Awesome. So you see a lot of athletes. I know you're developed athleticism, which people love, and there's so many different aspects of that. So before somebody needs to actually recover, what do you do to make sure that they're not spending so much post having to recover?
Well, the preparation is really one of the biggest components. And it's so missed. I mean, you have to prepare yourself. If you're gonna go skiing, you have to be doing squats like crazy. I mean, we're doing 10 sets of 10 front squats, 10 sets of 10 overhead squats. So you're doing a couple hundred squats in a workout, because when you hit the slopes, you're gonna be doing probably about 1,000 or several thousand. And how do you prepare for that? Well, you have to start doing stairs and squats and take some time and stretch and stabilize, do joint stability exercise. The preparation, as far as fitness training, from a big standpoint, is absolutely imperative for recovering. Because if you go and blast yourself, you're definitely going to be way out a lot longer. It's going to take you so much longer to recover. But when you prepare yourself with fitness, with the proper training regimens, that's why they have periodization for these professional athletes, because their preseason stuff prepares them for the season, and the post is getting them basically rested, healing their body, and then they're starting to prepare again. So there's these seasons for a reason. The body needs to flow with these, and really understand what dynamics you're putting into what you're doing and prepare yourself for it. So for me, one of the biggest is stretching as far as preparation, and then joint stability. So I've really grown to be able to stabilize someone faster than ever. So before I go and play sports, I stabilize myself, I stabilize our athletes, and then when they go, they're not as likely to have an injury, and if they do, it's not going to be as severe as if they were not stabilized. So the preparation is for performance, it's for injury prevention, and it's also for recovering quicker, so you can turn over again and keep doing it. And as you get older, it becomes a lot more challenging.
So I know that people have stretched before, they understand stretching a little bit. There are many dynamics to stretching, and we can talk to that, which would be cool, because there's different types and different philosophies about stretching. But not everybody knows what stabilization is and what that means. Can you speak a little more of that, since you brought it up?
Definitely. Stability is one of the things. It's testing a joint, and you could do it. We'd use muscle reflex testing techniques, where if you put your arm out and your shoulder goes weak, that shoulder's not stable. And it doesn't matter if it's out here, if the elbow's bent, we have to stabilize this joint. And so Dr. Cohn talks to the nervous system, I talk to the nervous system. We can get these areas to be instantly strong, which equates to about 20% more strength and stability instantly. And when you're playing at 20% more, you're gonna have a much better performance. And so, and decrease the risk of injury. So stability means we could do it manually, we could do it with lights, we could do it with weights, we could do it in so many different ways. But the key is to make sure all your joints are stable. And so with athleticism, we have protocol for foot stability, for ankles, for knees, for hips. We have a rotator machine that strengthens your knees and hips and rotational movements. I mean, most people are all flexion extension. So really preparing at a whole different level is where it's at. And for me, my neck's probably one of my challenged areas. So I have to get on a table, have my hands and head off the table, and do cervical lateral flexion, cervical lateral rotation where I'm laying on my side, start to strengthen even my neck muscles before I go and play basketball or surfing. And then that stability, I can really be a lot more dynamic in sport.
So do you stretch and then stabilize and stretch, or does it vary per person, and then how's that work?
Mostly stretching and then, stabilize and then stretching, because your body needs to know that end point. So once you have that end point and they're stable, then you could take them to that where they need to go as far as flexibility wise. So I love to stabilize someone. I used to think it was the other way around, but it's really, you got to stabilize someone, find those endpoints, have those connections established from your cervical spine to that endpoint of your hand. And then once they have that connection, then you could just start to lengthen it, because the muscles can stretch about 1.5 times their resting length. So it's a really important mechanism to do. Plus, the formula for power is force times distance divided by time. So force is how strong you are, distance is how flexible you are, divided by time, how fast you can turn over. So when you add that flexibility in, you're going to have a greater power output. It's just simple math.
So stretching too. So there's active stretching, there's passively being stretched, there's stretching using lights like in quantum neurology, there's dynamic stretching, functional stretching, there's all different kinds of stretching. So how does somebody know what to do when? Does it vary by sport, vary by body type, vary by assessment? How do you do it?
I use a system called Active Isolated Stretching, the Aaron Mattis method. You can do it assisted with a stretching therapist like me, or you could do it unassisted version. It works the same way. It's reciprocal inhibition. If you're going to stretch your calf, your gastroc, you're going to bring your toe towards your nose with your anterior tib, and then use a towel or a belt to stretch the gastroc a little further. So it's a pumping system. You're contracting one side while you're lengthening the other. So it's a really simple way to stretch the way the body moves, and it's a pumping system. You're pumping blood, oxygen, nutrients in it, so you can use it pre and then you can use it post. So stretching post is one of the best things. I mean, if you're throwing, if you're playing tennis or volleyball or serving or baseball, pitcher, what have you, and your arms are so fatigued where all the internal rotators are just pulling you forward, you have to be resting back in that proper posture and lengthen yourself out. The IntelliSkin, Dr. Tim Brown's IntelliSkin posture shirt is just phenomenal for talking to the nervous system, getting you back in alignment naturally. So you can do manual stretches with AIS. You can use a fitted garment like IntelliSkins to help get you back in there, but you have to really start working on your posture and lengthening and breathing and fleshing that body so you recover quicker.
So awesome. So I know there's different, recovery, like we talked in the beginning, there's so many different things we could talk about, so many different aspects. Let's jump straight to, let's say, where people need to recover fast. Someone like in track and field, where there's multiple events in the day, or someone's a professional ice hockey player where they're gassed or they're injured, but they still have to play, and they got literally 45-second shifts. So if there's 3 lines, they might have to maybe 2 minutes max to rest before they're out there gunning again. What can you do? What do you recommend people do before they're out, during the day, before a game? Everyone seems to have their own rituals. A lot of times we notice people have rituals that may not be serving the best. Evaluate those, make assessments of that. What do you recommend?
So you have to lengthen, stabilize, and go through your proper warm-up. I mean, it's a whole ritual. In the morning, you have to have morning and night rituals. You have to have proper nutrition as far as food intake that you're absorbing, proper fuel, good fats, good proteins, lots of veggies. It's a simple macro approach to wellness. Get rid of the GMO and the pesticide foods and start eating stuff that God made, not man, and you're gonna feed your body so you're able to recover faster and have more energy during it. But the post is probably one of the biggest secrets in professional sports. It's like, what do guys like Lance Armstrong do? How do you recover faster than anybody else? And the main thing is you have to get out of fight or flight mode. You have to get your adrenaline just down instantly. So these guys are coming in their trailers, they're going to the locker room, they're shutting their system down. They're going, okay, legs up in the restorative pose, laying down, audio stimulation, visual stimulation on lights to get them out of that fight mode and into parasympathetic rest and digest mode and start to recover mode. And so you're seeing your body just get out of this adrenaline rush right away. And animals do it really well. Humans don't do it so well. So we need all the stimulation we can do. So many people will add in Epsom salt, in baths, and throw in Epsom salt, apple cider vinegar in the bath, or even drinking it. You got to alkaline your system and get that lactic acid out. These are the simple tips to really get you to recover really super fast. I mean, get your brain so it switches. The Mind Spa is a great tool to take you into the parasympathetic mode, and get you right into that space. And it's also a great tool to get your alpha levels up so you're in the zone. You're just performing at that highest level. So a lot of the tools we used before are amazing after, and it goes across the board. But as far as the nutrition wise, you gotta take Recovery 7.2, your product with molecular hydrogen, it's one of the best things you can do. Ozone is awesome. I have an ozone sauna. We use ozone, which is fantastic. You do a sauna, so your body is in the sauna, your head's breathing oxygen, and your body absorbs the ozone. And ozone's O3, oxygen's O2, so you flood your body with ozone, which is O3. The extra molecule pulls all the free radicals out of your body. It ends up being a big detox, so you're flushing all the crap out of you, and you're flooding your body with oxygen. You're raising the temperature up, so you're getting the flush and a natural fever effect, so you're killing any viruses or anything that shouldn't be there at the same time. So there's so many amazing recovery protocols out there that you can do that aren't invasive, that aren't doping, that just really are more aware approach. There's foot baths for detoxing lymph flush, flushing your body through. The AI stretching is literally manually one of my favorites, because I can just sit there and do 8-10 reps on my quad, and all of a sudden my quad feels brand new again. And so the delayed onset soreness that we're seeing 3-4 days, especially when you're in your 40s, you start to see those a lot more. You can start to flush that system out a lot more efficiently when you have good intake, when you have great recovery protocols, and then when you're supplementing with amazing supplements. And Super Good Stuff has some awesome quality products as well, which I love. And their products are just a game changer as well. So you're looking at all these different products and supplements, and in addition to amazing mountain spring water to hydrate you. So those are, you have to treat your body like a river. And the best athletes in the world, the highest level athletes that have to recover the fastest, they're doing these types of protocols, and then they see experts like you or me to stabilize them and facilitate with that flush and stability and fire them back up, so they're firing on all cylinders with their nerves, their muscles, so when they go back out for their next heat, they're already ready to go. But this is a system, it's an art. You're flowing with the body, and then if something kind of down regulates because you overdid it or exerted, or there's emotional attachment, or a biochemical or what have you that just shifted it, we can get that back, and then you just go back out there again. So really look for having someone that understands that dynamic in your corner.
That's awesome information. So let me ask you, so real time, you got in your clinic where you see people, you got the tennis player who's fresh off an ankle sprain, you got the hockey player that might have a groin or lower body injury, you might have the high school or college or collegiate pitcher that just had a labral issue, or maybe a rotator cuff strain, or even a minor tear. walk me through. I walk into your place and I see you. What are we doing?
Well, first off, I'm going to say go to a chiropractor. So I'm out of Newport Spine and Sport. You can have a chiropractor there. Cohn Health Institute, chiropractor. I'm going to say adjust that body as quickly as you can. If there's a sprained ankle, get that joint back in alignment first and foremost. So that starts the healing process. So the faster you can get in and see a chiro to get that nervous system connecting back from the brain to the body is probably the best thing. That's what I do for myself, is as soon as I can get in to see them, I go see them. Now, the next thing is you want to really start to recover. Now, there's heat and ice and cryotherapy. Now, there's all these different modalities. I love the light. I love Gonzalez's his light. And so the GRT light. The light is the best healer for the body and to help that injury really start to heal. The body loves light. The body loves this light, the red LED and infrared. You go to the biohackers, they'll flood your whole body with light. Be careful with that. Eyes absorb iodine, so does thyroid. Like, you want to isolate it and really talk to those specific areas. So light is an amazing way to go and heal. Again, we're going to start to stabilize that area again, lengthen it out, and make sure they're leaving feeling fresh and recovered and walking out normal. Get rid of that limp. Keep your gait as natural as possible. Get that body in proper alignment and proper posture. Use those tools like Dr. Tim Brown's IntelliSkin. I mean, we have some amazing things. And then recovery is also great for injuries, not just recovering from life and from sport, but it helps heal injuries exponentially faster, as does Danny Putnam's Lurong and the Essentials, which is deer antler, which is great for your joints and rejuvenating your body. So there's so many ways that we could do recovery, and we talk to the body when they come to see us post an injury.
So I know different people see for different things. We talked about the physical side, getting your hands on them. We talked about the biochemical side, some of the products you use and recommend. How about the mental emotional side? I know that you really kind of help these young athletes, as well as have worked with quite a few professional athletes and Olympiads, get through the most important part at the end of the game, which is their headspace. Because once you put the hours in, once you have the skill set, it's really a mind game. So I know your background in tennis, which is a definite mind and focus and concentration, and again will lead us to having to recover if we don't maintain that present time consciousness and have our head in the game. So if you can speak to that a little bit, because I know that you kind of work on that side as well.
Oh, definitely. The mental emotional is huge, and really having that positive vibe and knowing that you're going to recover quick, it just starts it all off for you. Setting those intentions, the Louise Hay House, I am healthy, feeling powerful, like it's just writing it down, journaling, praying, having those morning rituals, but knowing that you're so blessed at the end of the day, and even if you do get a little tweak or a bigger tweak, you're still super blessed. And knowing that there's so many people, this team that we've created on Go Beyond Summit, all our speakers, all these avenues, all the supplements, these great products, super good stuff, like all these things help the body flush and detox and recover faster. So you're gonna be able to get back in your game super quick. Dr. Darren Weissman has the Lifeline technique. I mean, that's the mental emotional side right there. So you can clear any emotional holding patterns. If you lost a close one, you don't want to hang on to that loss. Infinite love and gratitude. Let's connect the conscious with the subconscious and release any holding patterns. But really knowing that you're going to be okay, everything's going to be great, staying in the moment, staying in the process, and really understanding that we're just flowing with the rhythm of the universe, and really grounding yourself and staying in that moment is a huge part of recovery and performance.
So that's been a lot of great information. I know we can talk forever. So any final thoughts for our listeners on this recovery portion of our Go Beyond Summit?
You guys, check out Recovery, Dr. Howard Cohn's. Go to the link for it. Check on the banner of it. You guys have to get it. Look at the supplements on it. Look at Super Good Stuff's products. There's just so much great information. Get Larry Minikis's Mind Spa. Start to ground yourself. It's all about the mind and syncing yourself and getting your level of consciousness up. And when you can do that, you could stay in that present moment and ground yourself, and you'll start to heal a lot faster and recover a lot faster. And make sure you're choosing to eat really good food and staying away from all the modified stuff. Let's really reshift all the chemical, stuff that's going on out there that's stopping us from recovering a lot faster, and really feed our body with fuel that our body was meant to have. Polar bears eat seals. They don't eat Doritos. There's a reason for it. They're not going anywhere because they're eating seals all the time. We got to start eating what our body wants us to eat.
That's great. Well, excellent final thoughts. So I'm injured. I need to recover. I want to see Justin Frandson. Where do I go? How do I contact you?
Athleticism.com. Just Justin at athleticism.com. 20 years, athleticism.com. That's me.
I love it. And we can find our way to your clinic where you're at now too from
Yeah,
there?
Newport Spine and Sport, Newport Beach, California. West Coast Highway, Riverside. Really easy. It's been there 24 years. So
Beautiful.
yeah, we're just ready to help and get you guys recovering beyond.
Awesome. Take care, guys. Go beyond.
Thank you.